mark at 1.5 speed. So let's just for a moment before we resume, while we are still waiting for the 1 minute, 1 hour and 10 minute mark. So let's just for a moment before we I can hear my own voice. That's weird. While we are still, we're going to review the conflicts that are going on here. So the first one is this. Drivus is attacking McWiggum, who is kind of pressed into a corner here, but he gets saved by Vieira, and Vieira wipes out Drivus' invasion force. Meanwhile, Pixel is driven out of his base by me, and he's also under attack, or he was attacking the Fishy, who is also having a bit of a fight with the captured Joe over here. So yeah, that's what's been going on for the most part. There was also a slight naval engagement here. I don't really saw who was fighting. I guess it might have been Pixel against Vieira here, because they were quite close. There might have been some clashes. So I think this is where we left off last time. Right now there is not that much going on. Having demolished Pixel's base, my goth start roaming around looking for new victims, while poor Fishy is about to get smashed, if I recall correctly. This is a happening I still remember, where Fishy, I don't think he knew how to ally someone, so he wasn't allied with me, while I was allied to him, and he killed a lot of my units, I think. So that was happening here, while Pixel is hiding away a few villagers, and is going to make a new base elsewhere and harass me. Already starting a little bit. And up here, Vieira is just camping with his army. The captured Joe has started sieging Fishy with some trebuchets. Fishy has an army of petards and siege onagers, which are probably going to get slaughtered now, unfortunately. Especially seeing as the Magyar hussars have a bonus against siege units. Maybe I will switch my point of view here, because all the you're under attack messages get annoying. So as you can see, Fishy has not allied with me, and he's wrecking my shit over here. If Vieira had attacked me in my, soft underbelly economy here, I might not have recovered. So right now, me and him are just having a small, silly skirmish over here with some Huskars who wandered a bit too far. Fishy is having a lot of trouble defending himself. Yeah, it looks like he is done for. But he escaped, and he stuck around for nearly the whole game. Just like Pixel did. Pixel is harassing my villagers with some hidden light cavalry, which he managed to keep going for quite a long time. He had some villagers hidden away here, and I guess he had some resources to spare. He had a lot of food left and some wood, so he could just keep annoying me with those light cavalry. And it took a long time before I wised up. Apart from that, it's not. Nah. Poor Fishy. He was really unlucky, and he ended up having to fight both Pixel and Captured Joe. And as it turns out, after his mistake, where he didn't know he had to set me as an ally, I unfortunately retaliated and also killed some of his villagers, it looks like. It's too bad we can't see the chat. I think it's because I alt-tabbed out earlier and then it goes away for some reason. Fish is making a new base in the center of the map. Vieira is also making like an auxiliary base here in the center, which was a good move. It actually kind of saved his arse later on, I think. So I think he moved away. Either there was a battle here that I missed. Yeah, I might have missed a battle where Vieira lost his army here, but the drivers didn't advance any further. Now McWiggum has a lot of trebuchets, but he's not using them to target the buildings. Just to... I have to say, just honestly, it's kind of a noob thing to do this. They would have been more useful attacking the buildings, but they would have needed to be protected from a counterattack too. There's a quite good army over here that could have done that. So that would be a good tip since trebuchets can have such long range. It would have been great to target the walls and maybe even this castle from a distance, and then yeah, put some pressure on drivers. Meanwhile, Fishy is completely driven out of his base, and it looks like a clash is about to happen between my Goths and Captured Joe's Magyars. There is still a standoff between the Wiggum-Vieira alliance and Drivus. Captured Joe's base is, it looks strong, but it's vulnerable because the towers are not super effective, especially here there are no walls. The towers can be brought down quite easily, even by some infantry. So I don't know, just turtling can be a weakness sometimes. Pixel still has his hidden little base here for harassment. Not really doing so much of that right now, but I guess that's what these stables are for. And he has an easiest escape route by these transport ships. So even if this base gets destroyed, he can just bugger off and find some other place to harass people from. Mainly me, I guess. And Fishy is building up his little secondary base here. His base in exile. He had to run away many times because Capture Joe really wanted to wipe him out. So right now it looks like I'm preparing to attack Capture Joe. If I recall correctly, this attack did not go so well. So it begins. It doesn't take much to bring down one tower, but Capture Joe reacts, and these hussars are surprisingly effective. I mean, they are quite dangerous. And I had stupidly had my infantry on stand ground, because I thought if they dispersed it would be easy to target the trebuchets behind. So that didn't work so well. Didn't work out. Anything else happening? Not at the moment, I think. I guess this is the main show for now. And of course, building lots and lots of barracks to mass produce Huskarls and Halberdiers. But like my main strategy throughout the whole game, maybe not the best. So I ended up running out of gold quite early. Of course, the Magyars have a very nice advantage in that they're unique units. These very useful hussars that are created very quickly and are strong against, well, especially siege equipment, but they can be quite good against some infantry like Huskars as well. After a unique technology is researched, they don't cost any gold, so you can just keep mass producing them forever. Well, Huskars do cost gold, so even though you can rush them like mad and overwhelm your opponent, you will run out of gold eventually. And I was like those aliens in Independence Day, just going around looking for resources, and if I spotted like some gold somewhere, I would think, holy shit, assemble the army, I have to go and get that. That was a big motivation for destroying Capture Joe. There's still lots of gold on the map. Here. So I think there was also some unused gold here. Yeah, I tried to take that later. See, I don't know how much gold I have. I actually have a nice reserve, but that could run out very quickly. And of course my economy is incredibly unbalanced. Look at all this food. Capture Joe has a more balanced economy with lots of wood though. And he looks like he's spending it as he comes, as he gets it. which is nice. It's a good thing to do. So for now, what's going on is this fight and some harassment here. Took me by surprise. I didn't even know Pixel was still around down here. It was actually hard to deal with. Not much happening here. Drivis has his army camped here. And his base is becoming a little bit cramped, I think. It might be a good idea to expand a little bit. Oh, he is actually doing that. Or he's attacking Captain Joe. He doesn't know that Captain Joe is also being attacked from the south. And I certainly didn't know about this. Sloppy on my part. And this is going to bring a lot of hurt to Captain Joe because the hand cannoneers are great against pikemen, and well, he doesn't really have. He has a few halberdiers that are good against the hussars. And Captain Joe is not doing so well right now. He's under attack from two sides. His economy has nearly ground to a halt. Yeah. Good thing for Drivis that his rear wasn't threatened here. Both Vieira and Wiggum played very defensively throughout the whole game, which actually turned out well, at least for Vieira. Here Fishy's base is growing, and he has a small army as well. Pixel still harassing me in the back. Not possible to do so much. Well, thankfully losing a few halberdiers isn't a big deal. They don't cost gold. But the Huscarls, that's a different story. Well, at least they can handle a lot of arrow fire. So Drivis is perhaps the bigger threat for Captain Joe now. But he's certainly in dire straits. So now, to my surprise, I discover Drivis here, and there is like a battle royale of sorts. Drivis has a really nice army and a clear advantage. But they has some the army didn't form or didn't get the first, didn't take the initiative maybe, so I got a few hits, but since my army was mostly crap, he won anyway. Captain Joe is really not giving up and is making another base over here, which is quite exposed. But Drivis is content with tearing down what's left of what used to be his base. Meanwhile, he has allied with Fishy. Everyone has allied with Fishy. Out of solidarity, everyone became friends with him, and he was allowed to settle in other people's bases. Pixel is still keeping this small base. And Driver's army, it looks like it was destroyed. I don't know if it was me or Capture Joe or a bit of both. Now it's just my army attacking him. Oh, he retreated. Right. So maybe he thought that it was mission accomplished and or nothing more to gain from being here. He was really unlucky with his gold. It was incredibly dumb. I mean, the RNG sometimes really can screw you a lot in AoE 2, and this is one great example of that. Capture Joe actually sending his villagers after Driver's trebuchets, but they get out. And he's making another base over here. He never gives up. Right. Still not a lot going on here. I think McWiggum and Vieira could probably defeat Drivers, but they were playing very carefully. And to be fair, Drivers has a quite large army, quite strong army with nice expensive gold units and a strong defense over here. But to his south, the defenses aren't that great, which will become a problem quite soon. So I start attacking Vieira because I thought, or I underestimated him, underestimated his defenses, and I really wanted this gold. It might have been better if I had just taken the gold without disturbing him. But I always think just in terms of attack when I play. Because it's more fun, and when you're playing as the Goths, that's it's like their shtick. They are a very offensive civilization. Well, the Italians, I don't really know so much about them, but I guess they are more of a civilization that can boom and play defensively. I guess that's more of their thing, and that's what Vieira is doing here. And he's trading a lot with McWiggum and getting all that sweet gold, while friendless people like the Goths can only get gold through conquests. Now Drivers is expanding a little bit and getting this wood and getting some more map control to the south, and really rubbing up against Capture Joe and this I would say a secondary, but it's probably more like tertiary base up here. His secondary base would be this one. There is a lull in the fighting where I suppose I'm occupied with Vieira and not really paying much attention to Capture Joe. Well, Drivers is going for an offensive, it seems. Or he's just making a probing attack, perhaps. I guess he decided to retreat when he saw all of these missiles. Or just to find another angle of attack. He could certainly win this battle, I think. But he needs his trebuchets to get through the walls. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of useless. Although his hand cannoneers could fire on Vieira without any chance of Vieira retaliating. But the trebuchets ought to be in the mix here and tearing down the walls at the same time. It's good to combine your siege and your army. And speaking of, this was a big fiasco and a waste of resources. Vieira is really taking good advantage of his strong navy, or strong in comparison to mine, certainly. And these cannon galleons are great on this map because nearly all of the map can be targeted by cannon galleons. So they unless you have a strong navy to counter them, they are almost impervious to any counterattack. They outrange castles and towers. So you have to have your own navy to deal with them, and yeah, especially some parts of the map, like where my base is, and where Driver's base is. Nearly all of it is close to some water, so it can be torn down quite easily by cannon galleons. So this is about to end, and Vieira is about to mop up. Pixel has moved his fleet over here. A small fleet with some villagers in a transport ship. So both him and Fishy is actually finding a safe haven here with Drivis, which is nice for them, not so much for me. Oh, and Pixel is even helping Drivis out by harassing the back of Wiggum's economy here, not allowing him to take this gold. So what else is happening? Captain Joe is rebuilding, but his population is still very low, and he doesn't have so many resources apart from wood. Fishy still has his new base here, and the Goths are trying to defeat the Italian navy with infantry. I'm embarrassed, but there you go. Vieira and Wiggum still peacefully trading, still Drivers actually having some success attacking through here. And it looks like he will have an opportunity to attack from the south and take McWiggum unawares, or he should have spotted this. So I suppose we will see him trying to counter it soon. Look, he has all these hand cannoneers. It's a nice army and very effective against the champions. They would have been even more effective if the paladins were helping them. But these are going to do nicely. The Drivers has to retreat. Now that Vieira has won here, he is free to concentrate more on Drivers again. So again, Drivers is fighting two enemies at once, and it will be difficult for him to penetrate this. Although maybe not with some sneaky trebuchets, he might be able to snipe these, and he could also dodge the trebuchet missiles, but it wouldn't be easy. So for now it's a stalemate again. Capture Joe is raiding a little bit on the other side of the river or inlet here, while I don't know what I'm planning to do right now, but I'm guessing it will be either throwing Pixel out or continuing the attack on Capture Joe eventually. So at this point in the game, not much is going on. There's a stalemate everywhere. It looks like no one is planning any sort of attack, to my knowledge. We have this strong alliance, and we have Drivers, and we have Capture Joe, and we have me as a Goth, and in between we have the remnants of Pixels and Fish's empires. Just hiding out and doing what damage they can. I think this is the start of a plan of some sort. Oh, a plan of building a lumber camp. Yeah, that's not what I had in mind. We are patrolling around with this scary navy. Meanwhile, Fishy has a transport ship here with some villagers, I suppose. So he doesn't put all his eggs in one basket. That's for sure. Maybe we will fast forward a little bit until something happens. Like maybe an offensive or something exciting. Still waiting for that. Naval clash between me and Vieira, which was well, not that dramatic because I never really stood a chance. After that, Vieira is free to destroy my base with his navy, which is sad for me. So just some light harassment going on, but it will escalate. All of these buildings, all these expensive castles, all this economy, it can all be reached by cannon galleons for the most part, and easily destroyed without much chance of retaliation. So I think what's happening now is that I've finally gotten around to throwing out Pixel without knowing that Pixel actually had already what's the term again? Skedaddled, and he is somewhere else. But it's good to get rid of the Mongol menace anyway when it's in the back of your base and keeps churning out light cavalry to attack your soft underbelly. Vieira keeps destroying my base. I have some troops here. Don't know why. Ooh, there was a big battle here. I suppose between Capture Joe and Drivers. So Capture Joe must have tried to attack, but the attack failed, and there were casualties on both sides. Now Captured Joe has quite small population and a small economy, so that must have been a big blow to him. Well, Drivers is kind of boxed in because his base is so compact. He at least he can trade for some gold. I don't know how large his economy is at the moment. He has a large reserve of food and wood and some gold, so actually not doing so badly. So yeah, and my army is just ineffectually going around getting itself murdered for no reason here in the middle of the map, while my base is being demolished from the sea. Pixel is all his buildings are destroyed. But of course he still has his fleet. He's fighting Capture Joe right now. I guess Pixel tried to make a base here, and Capture Joe noticed and decided that he wouldn't have any of that in the back. So Capture Joe threw Pixel back into the sea. Drivers attempting an invasion or an offensive with some trebuchets, and it's going well. McWiggum and Vera aren't willing to sally forth and retaliate. So this is costing the alliance some resources, losing buildings. Well, I don't know why, but I'm distracting Drivers with a few halberdiers here, and they are getting slaughtered. Capture Joe comes to kill Fishy because he hates Fishy in this game. I think that's his only reason. Drivers comes to help, but Fishy's base is already doomed. But he still has his other base here. Vieira stopped destroying my base for a moment. Maybe it's just building up to destroy even more. And I think this might have been the point in the game where I became desperate for resources. There was not much gold left. And I was making halberdiers because I wasn't willing to part with precious gold for just willy-nilly. And halberdiers are disposable. They don't cost gold, so you can just keep making them and making them, especially when you have a stupidly unbalanced economy with lots of wood and food left over, like I did. But on the other hand, the halberdiers are very well, nicely countered by the champions. They slaughter the halberdiers, and they are quite good against the housecarls too. And they have comparable stats, I think. So I made a few crossbows to more easily deal with the champions. Although as the Goths, they don't get very good archers. They get very bad archers in the late game. But I made some anyway, just because I desperately needed a counter to the champions. Driver's offensive was stopped here, with heavy losses it seems, but he managed to destroy a lot of buildings and cost his enemy some stone. So it wasn't all bad. Vieira has very strong defenses with these cannon towers, almost impenetrable without trebuchets. He stopped tearing down my base, which I'd already abandoned at that point. It seems that Pixel is scouting it, so maybe now it's going to get wrecked. Meanwhile, another attack on Capture Joe is having success. Due to sheer numbers, Capture Joe is just overwhelmed by these halberdiers. That became my late game strategy, just spamming halberdiers, which sometimes works. And I also wanted to keep Capture Joe's market from getting destroyed so I could trade with it for gold. I was really interested in getting gold. And of course collecting relics if I could. So what happened now is that Capture Joe surrendered. And I decided to accept his surrender, ally him, just so I could trade with his market. And then I didn't have any more enemies, except for the obvious target, which was Drivus. So that's what happened next. The Goths attacked Drivus. And Drivus, I don't know what he is trying to accomplish. Maybe just for fun, sending some scout cavalry in here. But it did actually destroy a lot of trebuchets. Ooh. Which is actually really nicely done. So that must have been his objective and it worked. So now he could attack, I think. But Wiggum and Vieira still has a strong army. Vieira is actually well ahead of Drivus in the score. He's in second place. While Wiggum is not that far behind Drivus again. Perhaps thanks to Drivus being preoccupied over there, it was quite easy for the Goths to come in from the south and wreck his shit like the Goths do. That must have been why it worked so well. Drivus had just lost his army here, just spent all his energy in fighting Wiggum and Vieira, and he wasn't ready for this attack. There is always some luck involved in these AoEII matches. Now Drivus is going to get beaten and he's going to get beaten and resign quite soon. Actually, the first player to resign, the first player to quit and actually be well and truly defeated, because Pixel, Fishy and Capture Joe both stuck around with what was left of their forces. Pixel having actually making a new base in my old base after allying with Vieira to destroy it, and Fishy going into exile, allying himself with everyone he could, especially Drivers. They became buddies, and Drivers let him camp here in the back of his base. I was also allied with Fishy at the time. And Captain Joe kept just a few troops, which I don't know where he hid them. They are somewhere on the map, and he just used them to, well, opportunistically attack where he could, where it was most safe, and he kept those troops for the whole game. They were never beaten, even though I really tried to wipe them out. Couldn't do it. Here they are. Very small force, which was just enough to do some raiding. Well, so Drivers looks like he's about to be defeated. Most of his base is gone. He's not collecting resources anymore. Quigum and Viera are just waiting around and not joining. Pixel is collecting resources and establishing himself in this fine land which he stole, bastard. So as you can see at this point, I don't really have a base. I'm still collecting some resources. And they even destroyed the market that Captain Joe had offered. So desperation was setting in again. I really wanted to save Fishy's market, but Captain Joe unfortunately destroyed it before I had the chance to use it. So I didn't find another source of gold. I was running out very quickly. So Fishy has a nice fleet, in fact, but his base was destroyed. I don't think he has any more villagers. Pixel, of course, has a new base and is establishing himself there, making lots of hussars, and actually quite a few cavalry archers too. While Viera is destroying what's left of my other bases. The Goth spam has finally wiped out Drivers. McQuigum allied with the Goths, so the Goths decided to go straight through the Byzantine. Funnily enough, he was playing as the Byzantines. To plot with the Byzantines to attack the Italians, and it gave me an excellent angle to attack Viera. So that's what's about to happen now. Over here, Viera's trade. Pixel chasing Captain Joe around. This is really chaotic at the moment. And now the Halberdier spam is about to hit the Italians. I'm not sure if Viera knew or if he suspected that this was going to be vulnerable. There are some attacks going on here as well, which may have been mainly to distract, I'm not sure. Because attacking from many places at once can, if you can distract your opponent and make them unsure of where the main attack is going to come, it can take them by surprise. Now the halberdiers are coming here. I think this is going to be the main angle of attack down here. But Vieira, unbeknownst to me, he has several bases, well defended economy, and even though I actually destroyed all of this, I couldn't destroy this. And I guess it's not a spoiler to say that I ended up losing the match for that reason, and Vieira was the winner. Yeah, so this is what's happening now. Vieira is under attack. Pixel is harassing me, and he betrayed Vieira, and destroyed a lot of his space here. So we have an interesting situation. Again, a sort of battle royale, because I'm not allied to... me and Pixel are not allies. Why aren't these towers attacking Captured Joe? I guess they allied, and now I decided, after I thought I'd beaten Vieira, I went full Blood Knight and decided that I had to just mop up the rest. I thought that it would be easy to kill McWiggum, and I didn't think that Captured Joe would be a problem, when in fact he kept his tiny army around just to harass what was left of my economy, and I was too distracted to deal with it. It was harder than expected to destroy Wiggum. Pixel just kept destroying the remnants of Vieira's base, while Vieira still had another base here and a lot of resources. So it wasn't over yet, far from it. I was running out of villagers and resources. I didn't have so much left. I wonder what was Fisher doing. I think he lost his fleet. I don't know who destroyed it. It appears to be gone. Maybe it was Vieira. He still has his fleet here. And that was a weakness. That was really my weakness. Or one of my weaknesses in this game. Total lack of a navy, total lack of water control on this map where it can be so useful. So we are nearing the end of the game, which, as you can see, has gone on for a really long time. So it was perhaps merciful that I have kept it on fast forward for most of this stream. McWiggum is almost destroyed. I think at this point I was starting to get annoyed with all the players who were actually out of the game but refused to give up. And Fishy resigned. I was actually more thinking about Captured Joe, because I have to admit I was getting really annoyed with these 3 champions going around killing villagers, while Vieira is getting some nice map control, which is really nice for him. Building a lot of houses here, some defenses as well. He has... Oh, Pixel resigned first actually. And I didn't remember that. So we get into a part of the game which is really the end game. This was a big standoff between me and Vera. The other players were really, they were out of the game at this point, even though most of them hadn't designed yet. Ended up costing a lot of resources, making these hand cannons. They kept getting destroyed, and all the while Vera's navy was doing its work. And I kept underestimating him, kept throwing halberdiers and hand cannoneers at him, which appeared to be working for a while, but in the long run it didn't go so well. So I think it's clear that at that point Vera had both better map control, a stronger economy, and a lot of persistence. And the Goths were kind of living on borrowed time. They and also for some reason not really consolidating. I wasn't consolidating my armies, which would have helped as well. So I was just desperately trying to get a hold of all the gold I could, while attacking Vieira and underestimating him, not having so good counters to this condottieri. They are better than the halberdiers. So yeah, this part didn't. This battle was Vieira won this and threw out or destroyed this forward base. After that, the new battlefield was over here, where I still had a forward base, lots of barracks, and I could churn out halberdiers. While Vieira has this base, and he can make lots of condottieri. I don't know how much gold he has left. He's out of gold. He's out of gold. Right. He still has some wood and some food. I have lots and lots and lots of food and some wood. Okay, so this is really the climax, which ended up looking like something of an anticlimax, I guess. For some reason we can see chat again. Don't know why. Okay, so we are really nearing the end. And Vieira is attacking me here with his navy and some troops, which is bad because I need this monastery, I need the gold. I am attacking him here and making some progress, but Vieira can retaliate, and my army is not going to be so. I mean, the halberdiers will get killed by the crossbowmen and the condottieri. I don't really have any good counters. Now, I didn't know at this point that Vieira was also, right, like me, quite low on the critical resources. I didn't have gold. Just had a lot of food and not so much wood either, actually. But I think Vieira's more balanced army and better tactics really won all these battles for him. And it didn't look like he was. He didn't seem like he was getting desperate and close to giving up himself. He told me after the game, but it didn't seem that way at the time. As you can see, Vieira is really destroying this army, which is not really having any effect at all. It's really not helping. So I resigned, and this is where the game ended, and Vieira emerged as the winner of the first Tailwords Forum Fight 2016. Yeah, it was a fun match. It went on for longer than I would have liked. I don't really like these dragged out matches so much, where you deplete all the resources on the map and you're just spamming trash units, and you can't even afford the trebuchet, even if you wanted to. 14 gold costs 100 wood and food. It was fun, but I like the matches where it doesn't drag out so much, and that's why I like aggressive play. But it's pretty inevitable in matches like these, where a lot of the players, or all the players in fact, are amateurs, and only a few good players like Pixel. I probably neglected to really show in the early game. He has a very strong early game and good micromanagement, and was able to build a strong economy. So even though his base was destroyed by the Goths, I think really kudos to him for his early play, which is always great. Yeah, these matches with low-level players tend to drag out, so it's to be expected, really. I don't know what remains to be said here, except that it was a really fun match, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen. I'm looking forward to streaming the second game, which in my opinion was a more exciting game, even though I didn't personally participate. And to anyone who was watching this, whatevs, man, just hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye. Oh yeah, and maybe we'll have a look at the post game. Why not? So if we look at the scores, I was on top, but just barely, with Vieira not very far behind at all. He researched a lot of technologies. He was ahead in that. Economically, me and him were really on par, while militarily I was ahead. And apart from that, look at Wiggum's economy. It's actually his economy score was really high. I guess because of all the trading he did. It's really nice to make a friend and trade throughout the whole game. So I think that was a really big advantage. And I don't know what else is worth noting here. He also researched a lot of technologies. Like maybe more than he needed to. I don't know. Let's look at military. And wow, Vieira killed the most units, while I hands down lost the most units due to all the spam. Just it's crazy, absolutely crazy how many units were killed, and didn't win me the game either. Most buildings raised was me. I was perhaps the most aggressive player. Most buildings lost, also me. I lost the whole shebang. Mostly destroyed by Vieira, with Pixel helping him. Units converted. Yeah, drivers had a few monks hanging out. I think I made a few monks and tried to convert some condottieri with very little success. So apart from that, no one used any monks at all. The largest army was McWiggum at the largest army at one time. which is maybe, yeah, it's good to have a large army, but it's also important to have enough villagers to have a strong economy. Right, economy. Yeah, many unbalanced economies. Uh, not criticizing. Of course, my economy was also incredibly unbalanced. Nearly all the wood and all the stone and all the gold was collected, so the map was completely barren towards the end. And look at all this profit that Wiggum and Vieira made from trading. It's crazy how much gold they made. That's really great for them. I mean, that was a great move to ally and start trading, because gold became so scarce and so important. So yeah, I think that was really a good thing to do. So in technology, drivers had a very quick feudal time, just, 10 minutes. No one else really came close, while I was first into the Castle Age, was also ahead of all the other players, while Pixel was very early in the Imperial Age, way ahead of all the others. Apart from Drivers and Fishy were actually quite close. Now Viera got a lot of gold from relics, and that's also so nice to collect the relics in games that drag on, because gold is so important, and it's a finite resource for the most part. So trading and relic gold are great in these prolonged games. It can help a lot. And yeah, most villagers, too many villagers. Timeline. Okay, I think we'll just end it here. That's it. Bye bye.